So, China's got this massive plan to build a whole new digital infrastructure for the world. And we're not just talking about cables under the ocean, we're talking about a huge network of satellites blanketing the planet from space. It's an incredible ambition, and it forces us to ask a really fundamental question. Is this all about connecting the world, or is it about controlling it?
Okay, let's dive right in. What you're looking at here isn't just a pretty picture from space. It's the new frontier. It's a new kind of battleground, really, being built satellite by satellite, high above our heads. And what happens up there is going to define how we all get our information for decades to come.
So, why now? What's driving all of this? Well, a big part of it is this number, $15 trillion. That's the estimated gap in infrastructure funding the world is facing by 2040. There's a huge demand, especially from developing nations who need better connectivity. And China is stepping up in a big way to fill that void.
All right, so to really get our heads around this, we're going to break it down into 5 key parts. We'll start on the ground with China's big plan, then we'll blast off into space to look at the new satellite race. From there, we'll dig into the big concerns, censorship, military use, and what this all could mean for the future of the one global internet we all use today. First up, let's look at the foundation for all this. It's called the Digital Silk Road. And let me tell you, it's about way more than just getting people online. The Digital Silk Road, or DSR for short, is basically the high-tech layer of China's enormous Belt and Road Initiative. It kicked off in 2015, and the whole idea is for Beijing to export its technology, its digital services, and its standards to countries all over the world, especially those in the developing world. And they are putting their money where their mouth is. We're talking about at least $79 billion that's already been spent on these Digital Silk Road projects. That's not pocket change. That shows a really serious long-term vision to make this happen. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the scope of this. It's not just about laying fiber optic cables. China is offering countries an entire digital ecosystem in a box. We're talking 5G networks, AI systems, cloud computing, surveillance tech, the whole 9 yards. Even the operating systems for so-called smart cities. It's a complete digital starter pack for any country that signs up. But like I said, this plan doesn't stop at the Earth's atmosphere. The ambition extends way, way out into space, and it's kicking off a brand new space race in low Earth orbit. At the very center of this push into space is a project called Guowang. That translates to National Network. And it's exactly what it sounds like. A state-owned company called China Satnet is tasked with building this absolutely enormous constellation of almost 13,000 internet satellites. In this right here, this slide perfectly captures the new rivalry taking shape in the sky. You've got SpaceX's Starlink on one side, a private, commercial American company, and on the other, you have Guowang, a Chinese state-owned enterprise. They're both planning to launch a similar number of satellites, creating this direct competition for control of the heavens. And let me tell you, they are not messing around. Just look at this launch schedule. It shows just how determined they are to catch up and build this network out. This isn't some far-off dream. They are launching rockets at an incredibly aggressive pace. This is happening right now. Okay, but with all this amazing new connectivity, there's a huge concern, a big but. And that's the risk of China extending its model of state control over the internet beyond its own borders. Are we about to see the Great Firewall go global? So, on the ground, most of us have heard of China's Great Firewall. It's one of the most sophisticated internet censorship and surveillance systems on the planet. Well, now, new draft rules from Beijing strongly suggest they plan to use that exact same playbook for their global satellite network. And you don't have to take my word for it. Look at the language right here. From the draft rules themselves, it says flat out that satellite operators have a legal duty to find prohibited content and immediately stop the transmission. So censorship isn't just a risk, it's being designed as a core feature of the system. And this goes so much deeper than just blocking a few websites. The plan would require real name registration for every single user. It would require government monitoring platforms to be built into the network's architecture. And all user data would have to be stored on Chinese soil. It is, from the ground up, a system designed for total information control. So you have the censorship angle. But beyond that, there are some pretty significant military implications here. This is what's known as dual-use technology, meaning this commercial infrastructure could easily be turned into a strategic weapon. To get this, you need to understand a military concept called the kill chain. Basically, it's the whole process from A to Z. Find a target, dispatch forces to it, attack it, and then check the damage. Now, in modern warfare, that entire process relies on a super resilient network of sensors and communications. And the big worry among US military officials is that Guowang is being designed to be China's kill chain. And this isn't just some fringe theory. This quote is from Admiral Chance Saltzman, the highest-ranking officer in the US Space Force. It shows you just how seriously the Pentagon is taking this. They see this network as a direct threat, something that needs to be countered.
The fear is that these satellites won't just be beaming down internet service. Reports suggest they could carry other payloads, like advanced surveillance gear. We're talking synthetic aperture radar that can see through clouds and high-resolution optical sensors. That would create a persistent eye in the sky, perfect for surveillance and targeting.
And this quote from Brigadier General Masteler really nails it. He's saying the goal here is to create a massive keep-out zone. If you can track and target something like a US aircraft carrier from space, you can potentially prevent it from getting anywhere near a conflict zone. It's a system designed for deterrence. So let's pull all of this together. You've got the commercial expansion, the built-in censorship, and the military applications. What does this all mean for the future of the single global internet that we've all grown up with? Well, this is the ultimate question, isn't it? Are we heading towards what some people are calling a splinter net? A future where there isn't one internet, but multiple competing internets, each governed by totally different rules and completely different values. You can really see two competing philosophies emerging. There's one model of a mostly open, free, and decentralized internet, and then there's another model of a state-controlled, censored, and heavily surveilled network. Projects like the Digital Silk Road and the Guowang Satellite Network are essentially exporting that second philosophy to the rest of the world, and that could rapidly accelerate this great fracture of the internet. And that's really the crucial paradox here. The very same technology that holds this incredible promise to unite us, to bring information and opportunity to everyone on the planet, also holds the power to divide us in ways we're only just starting to wrap our heads around. As we reach for the stars to connect the world, we have to ask ourselves, are we also building digital walls?